This is perfect for the Toronto Blue Jays as some new rumors and reports have dropped revealing a surprising Jays free agency target as they continue to peruse the free agency market. We're going to break down exactly who that is and discuss what this means going forward for the Jays. We're also going to break down a couple of other free agency updates today. But before we get into that, folks, we are proud to announce that this video is brought to you by Koho. Are you tired of the same old banking experience? If so, then it's time to check out Koho. Koho is Canada's leading fintech alternative to traditional banking, designed to help you spend smarter, save better, and even build your own credit all in one app. Koho is a Canadian company that offers 4% interest on your entire balance, and this is a non-promotional rate, which means it's one of the highest interest rates in Canada. And with Koho, you can earn up to 2% cash back on everyday spending, things like groceries, eating out, transportation, and more. But it doesn't stop there. Koho makes building credit easier than ever before, and the average Koho user sees their credit score rise by 22 points in just 3 months. Plus, there are no hidden fees. You can earn up to 4% interest on your balance and even get a cash advance of up to $250 interest free. Koho makes managing your money fun and effortless, and the best part is your funds in a Koho account are insured by the Canada Deposit Insurance Corporation up to $100,000. Are you ready to take control of your finances? Click the link in the description or the pinned comment down below and use code JAYS20. That is code JAYS20 to get a 20 Canadian dollar reward when you sign up and add $20 into your account. Check them out, and thank you once again to Koho for sponsoring this video. Make sure to check them out in the pinned comment down below as well as the description. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to go over today, specifically regarding a new free agency target for the Toronto Blue Jays, and that is in the form of a DH who Jays fans are awfully familiar with, and it is J.D. Martinez. And there's been some rumblings going around lately as J.D. Martinez has become available in the free agency market. He has, announced he's returning to play. And there's been some rumblings. You see this here from Thomas Hall, Jays reporter. He said J.D. Martinez, Jays writer / reporter, J.D. Martinez strictly as a righty versus lefty platoon wouldn't be a terrible low-cost addition. Rotate the 37-year-old slugger to the DH spot along with young lefties like Will Wagner, Addison Barger, etc. And the reason that we bring this up, we're going to dive into the advanced analytics and all these different things here. Things are very interesting now surrounding what opportunities, what options the Jays have left. Because you think about, Pete Alonso would have been a perfect fit. You could slide him into an everyday role at first base and at DH. You, of course, have other guys as well that, have been taken off the board earlier on in the offseason. I mean, we're talking about Tyler O'Neill, a bunch of different guys. Obviously, they got Anthony Santander. But when you're looking at the Blue Jays lineup, which we'll dive into a little bit later, you need one more bat in order to really compete in the AL East. And we keep talking about how they're so close to competing. Adding one more bat would help. Now, J.D. Martinez is 37. He's coming off of a bit of a down year. But if you can have him in strictly against lefties, and we'll dive into his advanced analytics and things like that. But you can see here, he posted a higher, a bunch of analytics, whether it be expected slug, barrel rate, OBA, expected WOBA, and average exit velocity than Pete Alonso in 2024, and will come at a much lower cost, just saying. So looking at his baseball savant here, I mean, he is he still has very good peripherals, and, a ton of red. He hits the ball hard. He doesn't strike out, a ton. He always, hits the sweet spot. He has a great bat speed, all these different things. And for a 37-year-old, his bat speed is great. It doesn't seem like he's on the brink of a huge decline. Now, yes, he's declined a little bit compared to his previous seasons. There's no doubt about that. When you're comparing him to a guy like Pete Alonso, who just signed on a 2-year deal, the Jays had an offer out for $75 million over 3 years. The Jays clearly aren't afraid to get another DH involved in the mix. Now, obviously, your starting catcher is Alejandro Kirk, who is going to command some time in that DH role. When you're talking about J.D. Martinez, I mean, this is a perfect fit for this team. You get a guy who's a veteran. He can help some of the younger guys develop. And he's played on teams that have been playoff contenders for a while, whether that be the Dodgers in 2023, the Mets last season, of course, who got eliminated in the playoffs. And as you start to look at some of his advanced analytics, and again, we'll dive into a couple of other things here. His advanced analytics are extremely interesting. And you can look at some of the stuff that he's good at. Again, he's very good at, very good against lefties. We know that. His WRC plus 139, 2023, 143, the year before, of course, 174. And this is specifically against lefties, just to keep in mind here. That's why the plate appearances are lower. So last season against lefties, again, in 138 plate appearances, he strikes out a fair bit, but 139 WRC plus is extremely good. 143 WRC plus in 2023 against lefties. He's been great against lefties his entire career, dating back to 2022 when the Jays played him a lot. And of course, he gave the Jays some trouble there with the Boston Red Sox. But as a left-handed platoon guy, he would be a fantastic fit. Now, does he strike out a ton? He strikes out a little bit, but that doesn't really matter given the rest of his peripherals. Now, as you start to look at his stats as a whole, I mean, last season, he was still above league average. He put up 106 OPS plus. The season before with the Dodgers, he was coming off of one of the better seasons in recent years for him, where he put up 136 OPS plus, and it just makes sense for the Toronto Blue Jays to take a look at this guy. He's not going to cost very much money at all. He got 3 straight All-Star appearances prior to last season, and of course, he is on the decline. He's going to be 37 years old, but he's going to come at a much cheaper cost than Pete Alonso did. And when you're looking at the actual available free agents, the crop now is much thinner than it was. If they strike out on Alex Bregman and they don't get him, I could see them immediately pivoting to JD Martinez. And does it clog up the first base / DH spot or a little bit? In the past, JD Martinez played some outfield. Now he's primarily a DH. Yes, it would clog it up a little bit, but they were willing to do it with Pete Alonso. And if you need a bat, I think it would be a very good signing. Now, also an article dropped revealing the Jays is a favorite, or not a favorite. Basically, this article predicts the Jays to land JD Martinez because of the perfect fit. You can see this here. We know the Jays have money to spend, even if they had to pay Martinez a premium to persuade him to come to Canada. We also know they want to add a big bat to help protect Vladdy. And of course, they have Anthony Santander now, but you need one more bat. I think most Jays fans agree. In particular, his team could use some more right-handed power. The Jays finished 28th in isolated power against left-handed pitching in 2024. Martinez, who had a 203 ISO and a 139 WRC plus against lefties last season, could help change that. The Jays have a glaring hole when it comes to right-handed power hitters, and of course, hitting for power in general against lefties as well. Now, Anthony Santander is a switch hitter, which helps a little bit. You look at the team now, and again, this is before the acquisition of Anthony Santander as well as Jeff Hoffman, but I wanted to bring this up because this is a projected war for a lot of these guys. And this is, of course, before Max Scherzer as well. But I bring this up because you look at, let's say, you can throw in the DH spot. The projected war for the DH spot right now is 0.9, and it's obviously a bunch of different platoon guys, whether that be Berger, Martinez, Schneider, Springer, Wagner. If you throw a guy like JD Martinez in there, you can assume, a 1 to 1.5 WAR from JD Martinez. And you add that in, and that's on the low side. You add that in, then you're starting to get closer and closer to the wins above replacement that you need, at least advanced analytics-wise, to make the playoffs. And he's coming off a 0.5 WAR season. He wasn't very good, but the previous 2 years, he was fantastic. And the previous 3 years, he was really good. So I think there's an opportunity for the Jays to come out and actually get this guy. We know they have offers on the table for Alex Bregman at 6 years. Of course, Pete Alonso now has signed with the Mets. And regarding remaining free agents, obviously the Jays aren't projected. Now this is just a writer, but I wanted to bring up some of the remaining free agents that are available. You have Bregman, you have Pivetta. The Jays obviously aren't going to go for Pivetta. Andrew Heaney's an interesting lefty. Kenley Jansen for the bullpen. Yoan Moncada, who signed yesterday with the Angels. JD Martinez and Jose Quintana. There is not many hitters left aside from Alek Bregman and JD Martinez. Even Yoan Moncada, a guy the Jays have been long linked to, is now gone. And JD Martinez has better advanced analytics last season than Pete Alonso, and in previous years was also a little bit worse than Alonso because of how good Alonso was. But things are going to get very, very interesting. So let me know down below what your thoughts are as things start to pick up. We're going to keep you up to date. But I think this is a guy that no one's really talking about and could be a perfect fit for this Toronto Blue Jays team, especially as a lefty platoon guy. Yes, he's older. He's not going to be a long-term solution, but the advanced analytics favor him. He still hits for power. He only hit 16 homers last season, but the year before he hit 33. So if you can continue to tap back into that power, play a platoon role, only play 80 to 100 games against lefties, be a pinch hitter off the bench, doesn't have to do much defensively, especially with how good our defensive outfield is and our outfielders are in general defensively, whether that be La Perfido, Dalton Varsho, all these guys. Things are going to get very interesting. But let me know down below what your thoughts are. Thank you guys for watching. Are you tired of the same old banking experience? If so, then thank you guys for watching. We'll see you later.